He needs no introduction. Give it up for Cloudy, Billa, Bong, oh, sorry, that was really quick. Cheers, baby.
I'm not going to do an academic. I haven't got the time. Back her up. Oh, I mean, hello and welcome. Okay, I gotta set me timer. Here we go. That's setting the timer music, obviously. G'day, consumers. All right. Now, with the I didn't ask how you are. I know you're all good. With the Australian dollar, okay, beating the American dollar, which is great. There's a lot of Australians going to America at the moment. But I've got to tell any of you Australians who think of going to America, you have to be aware of a couple of things. Now, they've made buggery illegal in 18 states, or kept it illegal in 18 states, which doesn't worry me. I'm a one-way bum type of bloke. Doesn't worry me at all. So, and the terminology we use in Australia is kind of a little different, you know, with fags and bums and poofs and all that sort of thing. So, if any Australians are thinking of going to America, Americans don't know a lot about the rest of the world because they think everybody's a potential American. Oh, sorry, did I say something incorrect? Don't speak the truth? Okay. Okay, Australians, so listen up. Here's what you can and can't do. This is for terminology and states that don't allow buggery. Okay, you can bump a fag off a poof. Alright, you can poof on a fag, but you can't fag on a poof. You can puff on a poof. No, you can't puff on a poof, but you can poof on a poof. You can suck on a fag, but you can't bump a fag off a poof. Now, you can suck on a fag or a bum, and if you're a fag, you can suck on a poof. Now, if a fag is off his poof, he can have a fag. If the poof was a bum, he'd probably say no, but if the bum was a poof, he'd probably say yes. A bum can suck on a fag, but a fag can't suck on a bum. Hey, it's not my laws, it's yours. Now you can bum a fag off some suck, or bum a suck of a poof of a fag off a poof. But it's not good to bum a fag off a bum. So now that that's clear as mud, right? So there you go. All makes sense. I'm going home to Australia next month for a couple of weeks. I love going home to Australia. There's a few things I really look forward to, apart from wake and bake. And that is, one of them I really like to do is, nice show me something. Okay. One of the things I really like doing is standing up and sweeping. Look at me, I'm vertical and sweeping. You can't do that in Japan. It's psychotic. Who decided the length of a broom in Japan? That's why all those people are bent over looking for their keys. They've been using a broom that's this big for 4 decades. They're all bent over. How can millions of people decide that that's an okay length for a broom? No one questions it. No one says why. It's the 3-letter word in Japan. Here's your visa, don't ask why. Thanks. They should tell you that, immigration. Now, a lot of the convenience store staff aren't really sure how we're able to understand the price of the food when they tell us. Not only do they mumble because they're convenience store staff, but they say it really quickly on purpose. to any foreigner that goes into a convenience store. You're standing at the till and it's like, something has to be on it. What? So what they don't realise is that when we're getting our money out of the wallet, we take a quick look at the till out of the corner. Right, 3, 4, and a brown one with a hole in it. Yeah, got it. See, it's my job to notice things and then report it to you consumers. Now, I've noticed 3 things since the big quake. 3 things. You won't believe this, all right? Now, I notice things. That's my job. So, one of them is that Japanese people say things twice now. Nikkei yungai or Nikkei. The subject always appears twice. Gohan dosu no gohan. Yaman, let's go, Yaman. You won't, now, it's not that funny, but it'll spill out into your lives. And you'll listen to Japanese people go, tobacco, you don't know, tobacco. And you go, he was right. Mizu, if the subject appears twice, it didn't before the quake, but now it's there. Don't ask why. Another one is that when Japanese people say a number, now they write it on their hand with their finger. Chuyondatto. They write it. Notice it, consumers, notice it. I've noticed it and brought it to you. That's your shikudai. Homework. And then when they write it, sometimes they'll do this, right? If they're writing kanji, sometimes they'll do this. Chigo. Don't go out! There was nothing there before! Writing kanji on the hand. What did they do in the Stone Age? Like, oh, this kanji, they like pretend to chisel it out of a rock? She sells seashells by the seashore. What a stupid place to sell shells. That's ridiculous. It doesn't say she's selling any, but she's selling them. She's trying to sell them. She's talking about bad location, bad location, bad location. It's all I can say. But what are they thinking, these people that make up these nursery rhymes or whatever they're called? Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. I believe that Humpty Dumpty was pushed, and how is a horse going to put an egg back together? All the king's horses are all together. That's the epitome of impossible. A horse putting a broken egg back together. What are they thinking? What kind of drugs are these people on? It's like this is a classic one. Here we go. So it sounds like a conversation between two uni students that just had their first acid trip a week ago, you know. How'd you go the other day, man, with that acid? Whoa, dude. I'm sitting there, I'm looking up. I'm like, and the scene just kept going through my mind. I don't know why. I was tripping, I think. It was like, hey, diddle, diddle, the cat and the fiddle. Hey, diddle, diddle. I don't know why I said that. And then I looked up and the cow jumped over the moon. Whoa. Heavy, dude. Yeah. And then I'm still tripping. And there's a little dog laughing to see such fun. The dish ran away with a spoon. Ah! Drugs. Remember, only users lose drugs. That makes sense. Some drugs are good. Most drugs are good. All drugs are good. Only joking.